Well, hello and welcome back. Today we are talking about paper clutter, and it's like the worst clutter is paper clutter. Now, I have done videos on paper clutter in the past, but I felt like it was time for a refresher, and I'm starting out in my office. As you can see, I have cleared off my desk. You don't have to. You can use your kitchen countertop or your dining room table or your coffee table. Heck, if you want to, you can just clear a spot on the floor. It doesn't have to be fancy. So this is going to be a very simple two-step process. First step, we are going to gather up all the paper clutter in our house. Just set a 15-minute timer, run around your house, grab everything you can find, put it all into one stack, and we're going to get started. Getting a handle on the paper clutter in your house is the very first step. I've got 5 categories we're going to separate everything into. Super simple, really quick. It's going to take almost no brain power at all just to get through the paper clutter that is currently in your house. And then the second step is setting up a system for paper clutter that comes into your house. Every piece of paper that comes into your house, we need to know what to do with it and act on it immediately. That way we never accumulate paper clutter in our house again. 2 steps, all you gotta do, go get your paper clutter. And we're starting now. Okay, so we've gone and got our paper clutter. I even pulled some stuff out of my purse, which is important. Ladies, don't forget that. There is more than likely paper clutter in your purse. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start by taking our paper clutter, and I actually have 2 piles here that I had previously separated. Just to show you, this is what we're gonna do. We've got 5 categories, and everything here is gonna go into one of these 5 categories. We've got a shred category. We've got a recycle category. Okay, we've got a file category, an action category. I have something really cool to tell you about that in just a minute, and a scan category. So let's really quickly, without even thinking about it, rummage through, go through all of your papers and decide which one of these 5 categories your piece of paper goes in. Now, I had previously put these in categories. These are, I know these are my shred because I pulled those out of my shred pile. These are my scan. This is everything that I need to scan right now. Now, if you have things that you need to keep, but you don't actually need to keep the piece of paper, you just need the information, creating an online filing system is your best bet. And I have a video on that. I will link it in the description below. It is about going paperless. Now, you'll notice we have a file category. That means that yes, there are going to be some pieces of paper that we need to keep, like birth certificates, death certificates, marriage certificates, social security cards, all the things like that that are not easy to replace. If it's easy to replace, we don't need to keep it. If it's going to take time and possibly money to replace it, we want to keep it, right? That is the main reason that you would want to keep a piece of paper. If it's not going to be easy to replace, if it's going to cost you money to replace it, then we want to go ahead and keep it and have a small filing system for that. The action category, you guys, if you remember from my desk declutter video, I created an action system. Now, you may have a Sunday basket, or you may have heard of a Sunday basket. This is my take on a Sunday basket, and it's basically a filing system, but I have dividers in my filing system because there are some things I need to do. I have work that I need to do, but I don't need a ton of papers out on my desk. So this is my modified Sunday basket. I can talk about this more in just a few minutes, but this is our action file. Anything that I need to actually do something about this in the next, coming days, weeks, months is going in my action file. So now, here we go. We've got all of this paper that we need to go through. Do we actually need any of this? No. Recycle, right? Now, I'm going to do my best not to show addresses here, but go through your mail and see, like, how much of this do you actually really need to keep? Probably not much at all. So there are things that need to be shredded. I probably won't have anything in my file, but I'm going to go ahead and just stick something there so you can see that there's something there. Okay, so if I had anything to file, I would put it in this category. I don't have anything to file. This is actually an action item for me, so I'm going to set that aside. But you can see, look, what we've gotten rid of already. This and this, because this is my shred pile, these I'm getting rid of immediately. So now all we have left is our scan pile and our action pile. Now, again, check out the link in the description to the Going Paperless video, because that is where you'll see how quick and easy it can be. Now, yes, it can take a little bit of time to get all of your past documents scanned in, but once you have a system in place, keeping up that system is super easy. These are actually files that I found when we moved that were in a storage unit, so I didn't get them scanned in originally. So I am going to have to take just a little bit of time to add these in to my older filing system, because these are actually older documents that we do, like, as a business, need to keep. But a lot of the stuff here, like, there's new stuff as well, like our all of our tax documents. So, like, I have our W-2s for last year in here as well. That is something that, while I'm putting all of my tax paperwork together to file for the year, I'm just going to go ahead and scan it all in, because I don't actually need that paper copy. I just need that for reference for 7 years, and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and scan it in and move on. Now let's talk a little bit more about our action file. Now these are not reference items, right? So if you get, say, a catalog in the mail and you're like, I might want to order something from this, but I'm not ready. This is not something that's going to go in your action file. This can go in your reference bin if you have a reference bin. I actually don't love reference bins because I either want to act on it right away or not at all. But if you need help getting from A to B to where you know you never are going to pull this up again, then go ahead and create a reference bin, something that every 30 days you're going to go through, and if you haven't acted on it in 30 days, you go ahead and get rid of it. So while this is I actually am looking for furniture, I don't think, let me look here. Yeah. Don't think I'm going to be ordering from these people anytime soon. So I'm going to go ahead and recycle this, but you can also create a reference bin. Now, these are items that I need to act on. And as I told you previously, I created this is my modified Sunday bin. Now, I have been using this for 1.5 years. So for me, it absolutely works, because I keep my business running. I do all of the paperwork and order processing and a lot of the stuff for my husband's business, as well as just anything personally that goes on. So I'm going to open to something where you can't see my personal stuff. And for example, in this system, you could have bills that need to be paid, right? You could have paperwork from your kid's school that you need to go through, right? Or maybe you need to sign a report card. You can put it in here. You could have flyers of events that you need to or planning on attending. You could have just anything that might be in your action item, in your action file. So for example, I have something here that I need to follow up on in February. So I don't want to put that in a reference. I don't want to put that in my scan. I don't want to shred it. I'm not ready to get rid of it. Oh, I'm ready to get rid of it. Don't get me wrong. But I need to follow up on it in February. It is going in my action file, right? So this is how we are going to keep ourselves neat and organized with either a bin or a basket or a filing system like this. This is my action file. Okay, so now that we have gone through all of the paper clutter in our home, quick, easy, simple, 5 categories, that is it. Now we need to talk about how we deal with bringing paper clutter into our home. So let's go to our mailbox. As we're bringing paper clutter into our house, we only want to touch it once. So we're going to keep the same 5-category system in mind. Anything that we need to take action on, we're going to go ahead and put in our Sunday bin or our action file. If we need to scan something in, we're going to put it in our scan file. Everything else, we're going to either file it away if it needs to be filed, we're going to recycle it if it needs to be recycled, or we're going to go ahead and throw it away if it needs to be thrown away. It is that simple. Handle it once and done. All right, guys, so that is the pretty darn easy two-process system that is going to get rid of paper clutter in your house. First and foremost, gather up all of your paper clutter, separate it into our 5 categories, 2 of which we're going to immediately get rid of, right? We're going to scan all the stuff. We're going to recycle all the stuff. We're going to trash anything that is trash. And then we're going to deal with just the action items and the files. Now, if you have a huge filing system, I recommend you doing this exact same thing. You know, if you have filing cabinets full of papers, I've been there. It can seem daunting and overwhelming. Just do one drawer at a time. I promise you, you're going to find so much stuff that you don't actually need. You're going to have a lot of stuff to scan. You're going to have a lot of stuff to shred. Like more than anything, you're going to have stuff to shred. I promise you. One tip on shredding, if you have a lot of it, if you have multiple banker's boxes full of shredding, you can find places, just Google them in your area. For as little as $5 a box, companies will shred this stuff for you. I highly recommend going that route if you have a ton of shredding, because 1, it's going to take you hours and hours and hours with a personal shredder. If you try to do it yourself, your time is so much more valuable than that. 2, it's just going to go ahead and get all of that stuff out of your house right now. Getting it out of your house is going to make you feel so much better. So Google document shredding in local to you, and you will find places where you can get a whole banker's box shredded for as little as, the last time we did it was as little as $5 a box. So I'm sure with inflation, prices have increased, but hopefully not that much. And to me, it is well worth it. When the second step is what to do with paper clutter coming into your home. Touch it once and done. That is the key to all of this. Touch it once and done. We're not setting things aside. We are going to process them right away. We're going to go get our mail, and we're going to come right into the house, take care of our dog, and process that mail over the trash or recycle bin immediately, because as we're going through the mail, we know right then and there how much of it is junk, and what is an action item is going to go into our Sunday basket or our action file. And whichever one you prefer, go ahead and go with it. Try things out before you buy them. So I tried out I had multiple files in a stand-up file system on my desk for probably 2 years before I went ahead and bought this filing system. And now look, it works for me because I tried it out first. Try something out first. Get just a cardboard box, an Amazon box, and put files in it, and use that as your action basket or your Sunday basket at first to see what works for you before investing a whole lot of money. So that is the 2-step system to getting rid of paper clutter in your house. Again, check the link in the description to the video on going paperless, because that scan system, that is going to change. It's going to change your life, because there are papers we need to keep that we don't really want the paper clutter in our house. We just have to have it for reference, and it is so much easier to get rid of it now and delete the files in 7 or 10 years than to keep all of that paper around in our house for 7 or 10 years. Believe me. Get the scanning system in. You'll be happy you did. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and look down there at that subscribe button. If it's red, go ahead and click it. Turn it gray. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. With that, I'm going to go ahead and end today's video. Thank you so much for being here, and stay organized.